This week, I want to talk about 5 features from Animal Crossing Wild World that I want to see make a return to the series. Until recently, Wild World was the best-selling Animal Crossing game of all time at 11.75 million units, and it's for a good reason. The game introduced a lot of really great features that improved the gameplay and added to the franchise. Here's a look at the 5 features I want to see make a return. Unique holidays. I have a love-hate relationship with the holidays in Wild World. Overall, this game has a lot less variety in holidays and even removed a lot of the staples of the game. For example, there is no Toy Day or Halloween. It was unfortunate missing out on the real-world holidays that were available in the previous title. However, at where I am in life now and thinking about holidays, I do recognize that it can be difficult finding time to play on holidays where you have other real-world responsibilities. For example, it's a stressful time for me to accomplish the Thanksgiving goals while I'm also trying to spend the limited time I have with my family. The one thing I did appreciate about holidays in Wild World was that it introduced unique holidays that are specific to the Animal Crossing world. Days like Lottie Day, the Flea Market, or the Acorn Festival were events that weren't tied to any real-world events. Unfortunately, some of these got repetitive because they occurred month after month. But it would be nice if Animal Crossing took the liberty of celebrating real-world inspired holidays on a different day in Animal Crossing. That way, we can avoid the stress of finding time in our digital lives while also getting to celebrate a holiday twice. Acorns. I mentioned the Acorn Festival a little bit earlier. I loved seeing acorns appear in my town as another collectible. I always thought it was a little bit of a bummer that trees that grew from saplings and cedar saplings never really grew anything. In Wild World, that changed, with regular saplings being able to produce acorns during 1 week in October. You could collect these acorns and give them to Cornimer to win prizes. I would love if acorns made a return and only occurred during one season. When fall rolls around, it would be so special to start finding acorns on the floor and using them to win different prizes. It would be especially great to see more season-specific items. Cedars could drop pine cones, bushes could grow berries. Adding to the uniqueness of each season would be so much fun. Red turnip seeds. Every Sunday morning, Joan would roll her cart to town carrying wonderful turnips for the stock market. On top of the regular turnips, she also offered red turnip seeds. You could plant these seeds, help them grow, and eventually earn a huge amount of bells for the red turnip. Of course, the turnip seeds were pretty limited. She only ever had one available. It cost 1,000 bells, and if you forgot to water the turnip for 1 day, it would be gone with no hope of recovery. I want to see red turnips make a comeback and give players more options for things to grow in their town. I wouldn't mind if we were also able to buy more than one. I'm sure they'd lower the earnings if they did that, but it would still be so great to have a little turnip crop outside of your home. Moving. One of the more unique aspects of Wild World was that all players shared a single home. They all slept in a shared room in the attic and had complete control over the decoration of their space. Now, there's a lot of positives and negatives to this. One positive was that we got to earn a much bigger home than in the previous game. Unfortunately, sharing a space with roommates can be difficult, so there was an option to move out. You could move a character from one cartridge to another. This allowed players who had made a lot of progress in one game save that progress and transfer it to a town of their own. This would be a crucial feature for players who move into a town with a family member or friend. They could retain all of the items and money they had collected and get a town of their own instead of starting from the beginning with nothing. Later on, it was also an option to move your entire town to City Folk. This allowed players to keep their Wild World progress in a shiny new skin with more features. Recycling bin. One of my unmentioned honorable mentions last week was the dump in Animal Crossing Population Growing. I decided to save that feature for a similar feature from Wild World. In Wild World, you could go to the town hall and find a recycling bin. In this bin, there would be random items similar to the garbage dump in the first game. Unfortunately, it wasn't as cute as the dump in the other game, but it functioned about the same. I do prefer the idea of it being a recycling bin as opposed to a dump because I personally try to reduce waste in my own life. I like the idea that animals are getting rid of things with the intention of it being reused or remade into something. Anyways, this was my list of 5 features that I want to see make a comeback in Animal Crossing. Let me know what you loved about Animal Crossing Wild World and what you want to see make a return from that game. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye!